To all my viewers who are from the United Kingdom, I feel sorry that you have a Prime Minister like Keir Starmer. You deserve a better Prime Minister. I think we're gonna have to finish this until 6 minutes and 40 seconds because the rest is, well, it's a related topic. This is all about the UK, okay? We'll take the two parts. But if you want to see the full context, video will be linked in the description.
Taking a similar approach to what we're going to be doing here in Australia, which is to target platforms like X, formerly Twitter, with massive fines if they don't censor users. So these platforms are either going to face financial ruin or they're going to have to censor people who are supposed to be living in a free country.
Absolutely. And, we've already seen where this leads. Do you remember after three jihadists went across London Bridge in 2017, slashing at women's throats and shouting Allahu Akbar, the then British Prime Minister, Theresa May, gathered with all the great and the good, the Mayor of London and everyone else important, and talked about how we have to crack down on online content. It had nothing to do with online content. Look at the knife killer, Axel Rubicana, who killed those 3 poor young girls in Southport last summer. Some of the media said things like he was the Amazon killer because he'd ordered the knife from Amazon. I mean, this is what they're going to keep doing. They're going to keep blaming social media companies and online things because they can't deal with the real world.
And don't forget, the BBC or the mainstream media, they're dying. Yet they're still being listened. I don't know how, we'll never know. Don't know you know this right now. The UK government is also threatening YouTube as well because they want to save BBC News and Channel 4 because they're dying. Yeah, exactly. This is going to be similar with Canada. All those legacy media in Canada, they're dying when YouTube replaced them. And I'm certain many of you who are from Canada, all of you don't watch those legacy media in Canada anymore.
They can't deal with the real world problems, and they should.
They should. Now, let's stay in the UK, and there appears to be a massive flaw in Keir Starmer's plans to tackle illegal immigration. The Sun reports illegal immigrants could dodge deportation under Labor's one-in, one-out swap deal with France by simply lodging human rights appeals. Douglas, the plan, which started yesterday, includes a clause where anyone making a human rights claim cannot be sent back until their case is heard in the courts. And as we know, that can take some time.
It'll just never happen, Rita. I'm willing to take a bet for any sum of money right now. It's just not going to happen. Keir Starmer, his Attorney General, Lord Hermer, all these people are baked in this industry, this heavily taxpayer-supported industry, whereby somebody breaks into the country illegally and then gets all the legal representation they need to cook up some bogus reason for why they're in the UK and why they've broken in. And there is such a backlog now in the UK, as in most other European countries. There's such a backlog that you could have all-night courts, of the kind that were able to be put in place after the Southport riots, of course. But you could have all-night courts running for years, and you would still not sort out the backlog of the people who are already illegally in Britain. So the idea they're ever going to address with this scheme in this one-in, one-out fatuousness, the idea they're ever going to address this is for the birds.
Wow, they're gonna dodge. Unbelievable. This is gonna backfire in their face. Not only that, I have a feeling that, why do I get the feeling that they're trying to go back to the roots of the British Empire? Nope, that's just a theory. All my viewers who are from the UK, if you have a chance to protest and vote, or in this case, vote Keir Starmer out of office, go for it. You deserve a better Prime Minister. My country doesn't have this kind of immigration problem. We never had this kind of thing. Zero.
They are simply trying to placate the very significant and growing public concern about this. Because at some point you've got to ask, most British taxpayers couldn't afford to live in a hotel at their own expense night after night. So why are they paying for people who've broken into the country to live in those hotels night after night? Why are we running up billions of dollars a year in housing people who've broken all the rules? I mean, at some point, something has to give. But I suppose Starmer and Hermer and co just hope it won't happen on their watch.
It is an absurd situation when you've got A significant percentage of the British public who are living in what we're called is energy poverty. They don't have enough money to effectively heat their homes in winter, cool them in summer. And yet you've got people breaking into the country, enjoying a standard of living that a lot of Brits could only dream of in four-star hotels.
If any of you are from the UK, you have my sympathy, and don't let them get away. I think the best way you can do, share this video. Subscribe, like the video, comment, and share it with your friends, okay? This kind of thing must be spread everywhere. Right now, many people in the UK are fighting back. Yes, they're fighting back, but what Keir Starmer and his staff do? They scratch their heads and wonder to themselves, wait, why is everybody protesting and angry about what's going on? And no, I'm not calling him Sir Keir Starmer, okay? He doesn't deserve that title. I think King Charles should just sack him. But that's just a dream anyone can think of.
Now, this is an interesting revelation in the Times from a police commissioner, Donna Jones, who says a government minister, she doesn't name which minister, pressured her over a statement she made suggesting mass uncontrolled immigration was a factor behind last summer's riots. The minister told her, no, you're wrong. The riots had nothing whatsoever to do with immigration.
They just won't admit it, will they? They'll never, ever admit it, because if they were to admit it, they'd have to take responsibility. And that's the last thing that these politicians want to do. They never want to take responsibility. They push everything under the rug. They will point to anything other than the causes of the problem. Yes, there is significant and growing dissent in the UK, as in so many other countries, about the feeling that taxpayers have that they're basically being taken advantage of, that they are having the mickey taken out of them by rule breakers, having all these advantages and all these disadvantages accruing to the people who are already here. And it's just so obvious. It's happened in recent weeks with the protests in Epping. Now we have the situation where the illegal migrants who are being housed in the so-called migrant hotel in Epping were moved. They were moved to a place called Canary Wharf, a very rich area of London's financial district. And they were moved there. And first of all, the police and the authorities said to people, don't speculate on where they're going. There's no evidence that they're going to this hotel. Lo and behold, they were going to that hotel.
The reaction, people are pissed. Yeah, people are pissed. Keir Starmer, do you even think what you're doing? I have a feeling Keir Starmer is going to be the UK version of Joe Biden. He will put his head in the sand, not knowing anything. Even if he does know, he just push it aside. The question is, does King Charles knows about this? I don't know if King Charles knows about what's happening for the illegal migration. I don't know, folks. To my viewers from the UK, if King Charles were to be aware of this, what will he do? Will he take action, or will King Charles sit on the sideline? Say in the comments. I think the best course of action to all my viewers from the UK, share this video, share any video that covers this kind of thing, and also covers the Online Safety Act, aka the UK Online Safety Act, to everyone, okay? Not just one person, not just my video. You have to share Smash JT's video, Vera Dark, Hypnotic, anything. Share it. We need to raise awareness. And with enough awareness, we could even attract not just the government, but the monarch. Look, I'm hoping that with this enough awareness, I could potentially attract the attention of my government to be aware of this censorship. It doesn't matter whether you are either Israel, Palestine, or Russia or Ukraine, censorship will censor anybody. Doesn't matter who you are. And that's the truth of it.
If you expect to get paid, get it done. Brainiac out.
Brainiac! Brainiac! After I get my money, you'll rue the day you spoke to me like that! I have freed you from your extra-dimensional prison. Unless you want to go back, destroy those men.